Ninja Saviors: The Return of the Warriors. This is actually a remake of the Ninja Warriors again for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System that was released in 1993. That game, of course, was also a remake of the arcade classic, the Ninja Warriors, with made more for beat 'em up standards at the time. So anyway, we're going to get started. This game does have 8 missions to tackle, or I should say stages. So, if you hadn't realized, I'm going to be running Ninja. He's pretty much the only character I'm actually really good at, for the most part. So anyway, Ninja's probably the most powerful of the 3 original characters, though in the Ninja Saviors, or once again, Raiden's now the more powerful of the androids. So we're going to be, again, we'll be selecting him, and we'll be using him throughout the entire run. Hopefully we can get through this without screwing things up, but further reminder, since Murphy's Law is going to be applied regardless, when anything bad can happen, it will happen. So expect that to happen on this run. I will do the best I can. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, go! So anyway, we're going to kick off Stage 1 with Bangalore's forces coming in to destroy the resistance. We're going to be coming right out of that door, breaking glass and everything. So we're going to do 2 shoulder tackles and then another dash kick. And we're going to duck down and hit this guy right there. Then we're going to... unfortunately, some of these enemies tend to be pretty finicky. Sometimes they'll be very aggressive. And then there's just times where they just decide to play cowardly. We're going to detonate this bomb right here. And take out all these enemies. We're going to dash over here. And take out all these guys right here. Now, believe it or not, you can actually do an infinite right here. Not the fastest, but then again, it saves a little bit of time, at least. Oh! I'll probably be attending the event personally. I wanted to do that for quite a while, actually. Ooh, that was bad. Sorry about that. Anyway, we just got through this area. Unfortunately, we got hit with these missiles. Unfortunately, if this was an actual speedrun attempt, we would be resetting. So we're gonna do a small dash that gets us moving over here. We got Gigano here. They made him a lot bigger in this version. Ow, he just punched me. Sometimes he'll just take the hits. But right here, he was not too nice here. Alright, not bad. Not bad at all. So basically you want to get into Gigano's center of his sprite and then just do the crouching chain attack and then switch to the other side, repeat until he gets defeated. But unfortunately the fights with Gigano can be pretty nasty. And sometimes he'll just escape. Alright, so we're moving on to stage 2. And we're going to be dash kicking the first group of enemies. We got our first encounter with the Shadow Man. And those guys are regular enemies from the arcade version. Unfortunately, that was not smooth. Yeah, I know a lot of people prefer the crouching chain attack, because that's actually more faster than the nunchucks. But the nunchucks are actually a lot more safe. We're going to detonate this bomb, take out all these enemies. Then we're going to group all these guys on one area. Ooh, not bad on the group. Might as well detonate the bomb, unfortunately. That was very unfortunate. I screwed up on the grab there. I had a pretty good grouping, and then I screwed up on the grab. So, unfortunately, since I can't do the world record strat for this part right here, I'm going to do this instead. Let these guys come out. And take out that robot using one of the foot soldiers. So that's my alternate method of doing that rather than the other way around. Put them in the corner. I don't know how in the world I missed that there. Alright, we're gonna pick this guy up and throw him right there. No, that was not what I intended. Oh. But anyway, we got past that. We grouped all those guys together, and unfortunately this is pretty RNG heavy area because you don't know when the fans are going to be activated. The first two will activate on their own accord. This one activates on its own timer. This one probably follows on a different timer. And we detonated a bomb, thankfully. So we're going to throw these guys over here. We want to get rid of the robot here before we advance because, unfortunately, we got a boss coming. Now, believe it or not, you can actually destroy some of the backgrounds sometimes. So we got Chainsaw Bull coming up on stage 2. What he does on the first thing, we do not know until he decides. Ooh. And our attacks did not connect. So that was very unfortunate right there. Yeah, sometimes Chainsaw Bull can pretty much decide to pretty much grab you and throw you around like a sack of potatoes. Thankfully he didn't do that there, but sometimes he'll get the first attack right off the gate. Which is very unfortunate, which happened right there. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, we gotta wait until to see if this game gets in first. That's the problem. With my luck, it'll probably none of my runs will get in. Because that always happens most of the time. But we're gonna do the best we can. Woo! Look at the grab there. We avoided getting blown up there, which is pretty nice. Yeah, thankfully in this version you can like rack up mobile hits with the giant swing pretty much. Alright, now we gotta wait for the Shadow Man to drop down. And once this last one comes in, we're gonna detonate the bomb, take out all 4 of them. And then we'll take exit stage right. Throw this guy over here. Then we're gonna giant swing this bunch over here. Keep them all in the same area. Alright, we got rid of all of them, so that's good. Now, this is my strat for this part, so we're gonna just position it there. Detonate this bomb so that the green Kunoichi gets hit. Unfortunately, the original Kunoichi survived, but we did complete what we intended to, and that was to get rid of the green Kunoichi. Green ones have pretty high health in general. Let's get rid of this guy so we don't have to deal with 3 of them over here. Now we're going to position pretty much all of them over here. Then you get rid of all the foot soldiers here. Now the foot soldiers will continue to appear until all the more stronger enemies are gone. One guy wasn't there. Now we do have blaster attacks. I could probably showcase that right now and detonate that. That does take some of the meter though. Alright, not bad. Wasn't a bad section. Alright, so now that we got past all these guys, we take on Phantom Gecko. And he could be a bit of a problem here. Unfortunately, we did not want to throw him, which unfortunately did happen. Unfortunately, when you knock down Phantom Gecko, he will leap to those screens. Unfortunately, he went invisible, which was very unfortunate. So we gotta keep an eye on where he's going. There we go. Technically, the entire ideal is to deliver 2 hits, grab, then do a dash after he breaks off the grab, and then repeat the process. But unfortunately, it's pretty easy to screw up on the attempts, which unfortunately happened to me. But technically, it's very hard for Ninja to beat Phantom Gecko pretty quickly. So now we're moving on to stage 4. We gotta get through this area pretty quickly. Got rid of them. So we got tanks in the background, so they're going to be firing the missiles. Ah, fuck. I meant to go for the blaster and that did not work. Ah, again. Again and again, why? Perfectly. Yeah, this normally goes a little bit better than what I would normally do. Get rid of these guys. We need to keep the mines intact for now. Now we're going to position ourselves right here. Wait for the enemies to come out. Sorry for the lack of talking there, I was trying to focus. So we're gonna wait for these guys to get in position. We'll wait until they start coming over here. So unfortunately we didn't get rid of all of them quickly enough, but that's fine. But technically the World Record Runner does a way better job. Zozo does way better than I would do here. I recommend checking him out if he still runs this game that is. I learned quite a lot from watching his runs, by the way. So we got all of them over there. We're going to try to group all these guys over here together. We're good on health, so we don't have to worry about picking up that health item. Ooh, we took out that big guy. Nice. Oh yeah. Well, every speedrunner probably does way better than I would do. Ah, we got blasted by the turrets. They actually changed that to hovercraft in this version. Yeah. Right now I'm getting trounced, which is not normally what I would do here. Alright, over here. Yeah, thank you for your cooperation, pal. Yeah, I didn't want to detonate the bomb right there because we do need to... Well, that didn't go the way I wanted to, but that's fine. You just gotta take what it is. Alright, so we're taking on Silverman. We do not want him getting on the platform you see up there. So we're gonna be atomic dropping him just about every chance we get. And make sure he does not get up. the giant swing in time. Basically, we wanted to hit him 3 times, then detonate the bomb. That takes Silverman out of the picture, pretty much. So now that we took it out Silverman, we're moving on to stage 5, and this is basically going to introduce the infamous boss fight with Jubei. Not only is he a very difficult boss to fight, his minions were going to be causing a great deal of problems going into the stage, unfortunately. Alright, we got past him. Now we gotta get past this robot and the minions. Nope. There goes my strat for now. We're gonna have to improvise. Normally when you have full battery meter, you can basically trap him in the corner and basically just beat him down, just like that. Fortunately, I did pretty poorly there. I haven't ran this game in quite a while. We'll pick up some health just to be on the safe side. And then we're going to be positioning these guys over here. Take them out with the blaster. Woo, we got them all. Nice. Alright, so we're going to throw these guys over here. And yes, you can backflip in this game, by the way. And now, once all 4 of the enemies come in, you do dash kick and take out the other 2 that recover. Alright, so now we got past that part. We're going to be moving on forward over here. Dang, I'm getting trounced. Normally I attack these guys from the left rather than the right. Yeah, I gotta play it safe. I'm picking up this energy just to be on the safe side. That was a very terrible attempt. I'll probably have, if this run does get in, this is pretty much gonna have to be doing on my normal strats rather than what I would normally do. Ooh, they all went down pretty quickly. Chill out, game. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, unfortunately, since we lost our bomb, we gotta play this a little bit differently than we normally would. Yeah, that was a shame. We gotta position all these guys over here. Alright, now we got past all of them. We can move forward. These guys are the strongest of the Shadow Men we have to deal with. Yeah, sometimes you can actually bypass that kunai throw. Alright, stop moving backwards. I want you guys to go over here. Fine. If you want to cooperate, I'll just blast you with the bomb instead. Man, not bad for a wall combo there. Alright, let's get ourselves in position so we can move forward. And now we get to fight Jubei, who's probably the big, massive wall of this game right now. We gotta get him with atomic drops. He has a lot of resistance here, unfortunately. there's not much we can do against Jubei. Let's just try to keep all the minions out of this. Very unfortunately, these guys decided to get in a place where they're not needed. Alright, we got him. Yep, boo the Jubei. Boo the Jubei, indeed. Thank you for those sentiments, Mega Retro Man. But yeah, the Jubei fight can go out of control without warning. Moving on to stage 6. Rather than knocking them down with dash attacks, we'll just take out the robots immediately. We got some enemies coming in, so we're going to be using Giant Swing in place. Take out this drone. Oh, looks like we didn't have to use the blaster this time. Yeah, I wanted to wait until those guys got into position. Leave this long, take the bull out. Trap these guys right here. Get the atomic drops. And that takes care of all of them. This is not a very long stage, but we got Phobius and Demios coming up next, and these guys love to box you in. So we're going to do a move that was introduced to this game, though it's not seen in the original. Ooh, how do you do that? Ah, they're on my charge. Yeah, leave it to those two to ruin everything there, but hey, at least we got this done within 91 in-game time seconds, at least. Oh well. Overall, Stage 6 was very, very good. So now that Phobius and Demios are gone, we now have to deal with Stage 7. This is the pre-ultimate stage. And basically, we're going to be having some huge battles, obviously. Get rid of the sniper so he doesn't cause problems. Come on, cooperate, please. We want them to be on the one side so that they don't cause problems and we can move forward right after that. Ooh, almost got hit there. Sorry for going mute for a minute. I'm trying to talk, but I'm also trying to focus too. But anyway, let's get these guys positioned. Come on. Blaster. Oh, well, looks like we took out all the enemies. So that he gets destroyed. Alright, not bad. Not bad for usually on my own standards there. Sorry about the silence there. We'll dash kick these guys, then go straight into a crouch attack to nunchucks. We want to keep those landmines coming up for this coming up. Throw these guys away. And a bomb right there that should get most of them, and we can take them all out pretty quickly. Woo, nice, not bad. Not bad with those backflips. Oh, come on. Alright, we're gonna keep those intact. Mix up the... Until the big guys come out to play. Take this bomb. Then take out this guy, and we did just that. So, well done. Whew. By the way, if there was donations, we would pretty much be doing that pretty much right now. Keep these guys cornered. So far we didn't lose any life. We got a pretty good chance for a donation coming up on the elevator once we get started. Should take out all these guys here. Not just about. Oh well. Didn't go according to plan, but we got them. And now donations will be right around here. We're going to trap all the Kunoichis into one corner. We're lucky. Unfortunately, one of them did break out, unfortunately. Now we trap them in the Final Fight Infinite right here. Make sure they keep out of our way. Come on. Yeah, believe it or not, all you have to do is do one hit and then drop the Shadow Man. That was pretty easy. Okay, so we got Zeros, or Zealous as he's sometimes called, and we're going to guard right here and wait until he drops down to our level, then we're going to start atomic dropping him. Fortunately, that failed. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay, how did he hit me from that position? Alright, so Zeros can be a bit of a problem here. Luckily, we did enough damage on it, we can detonate the bomb. Now, in hard difficulty, you get tons of enemies coming through left and right, and I don't like getting overwhelmed, so that's also another reason why I've run normal. Alright, so we got past Zelos/Zeros, and now we're on our way to the final stage of the game. So, whenever you play this game, always go right. Hopefully they're down. Yep, they did. Let's go. These guys in position. Because now we gotta deal with these guys now. Take them out right here. Sorry about the silence. I had to focus on the enemies here. Now we're going to force all these guys over here. Line them up with the blaster. And infinite them out of the screen. And pick up this guy, throw him, and throw this Kanoichi for damage. And trap them over here. Then we're gonna trap these guys on the corner next. Darn it, I meant to throw them. Bombs! Alright, where are you? Man, that was enough to bring him down. Great. There's one thing I don't like about that chain attack is that it's not strong. Okay, normally I'd hit this guy. I don't know how in the world I missed him, but it wound up being as it is. Now we're going to force all these guys to the right, if we can. Oh, they're all gone? Nice. Let's go. That's very unfortunate. Let's get that robot over here. Is that robot still on this? Come on. Alright, he's about nearly done, but he's not cooperating. Alright, so we got two robots coming in right after him. Hopefully that's the last time we have to deal with those robots. Or I should say, the foot soldiers. Now we got more enemies coming in after those two robots come down. We're going to keep them all the way over here. Basically keep them trapped so we can focus on getting to the end of the stage. Alright, that's good. Now we're going to force all these Kanoichis all the way over to the far end, along with that other ninja dude. Alright, we got Giganos coming in soon. Ah! Lost my charge. Man, talk about being unfair here. At least we gotta get rid of the Gigano here. Alright, our health's pretty good, so we're gonna keep going. So anyway, unfortunately when you get to the Gigano, those guys that make themselves invulnerable to throws also make their appearance. So unfortunately there's not much you can do about dealing with them until you do get in good range. But technically if everything went according to plan, I could have kept the Gigano trapped and deal a large amount of damage with the charged attack pretty much. Alright, we got a little bit of movement forward. So now we're coming up to the game's final boss, Bangalore. He won't do anything other than use the laser shutters, but for the remake, he's added some new weapons, those laser cannons being one of them. And of course, he also has a defense laser for the area where he's at, too. So Ninja cannot use his regular throw to do regular damage on Bangalore, so he has to really rely on the giant swing to deal most of his damage. And unfortunately, sometimes the enemies just don't want to cooperate. So this would be a good time for donations. Most of the playable characters in this game do have some difficulty fighting Bangalore. One of them being Kamatachi to start off with. Then, of course, you have Raiden, who also has a huge difficulty. Yakusha doesn't have nearly as much difficulty, but pretty difficult for her sometimes in general. Woo! We got that perfect frame flip. And sadly, it did not want to cooperate there. But yeah, we do have to be careful though, because once Bangalore's health starts hitting critical levels, the laser cannons will start going into effect. As you can definitely tell, the floor laser that comes right near Bangalore is now starting going into effect now. So far, we're getting pretty darn lucky here. Okay, time's going to be once the mission accomplished kicks in. There we go. Target destroyed will be right now. 34:43, not my best, but that's okay. Currently, I have 32 minutes. It'll never reach Zozo's personal best time, but hey, that doesn't stop me from trying at least. Woo! You know what? I may have made mistakes, but hey, it happens on a marathon run. It'll happen on any run in general. Oh, thank you for the GG's, Mega Retro Man. Yeah, it is difficult to do commentary and playing at the same time. It's not one of my strong areas. I tend to do way better when I'm focusing on gameplay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, usually I lose complete control of the enemies. But since I am trying to go for marathon safety strats, I did want to try to get as many enemies grouped as much as possible. But you know what, like I said before, I'm going to hold my head up held high, regardless if these runs don't get in or not, or if they do. I'm already running out of water, good grief. Alright, so that concludes Ninja Saviors, The Return of the Warriors. Alright, I'll be back in a bit to take a small break, and then we're going to be going for our third and final game.